What's happening, chess fans? Welcome to Net Chess and Chill. Today is episode number 23 on my journey to 1200 ELO. If you guys enjoy my content, please like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into today's game. Alright, some tunes for you guys. And let's see who we are playing today. Alright. Tartara from Canada. Good luck, my friend. It looks like we get a Caro Kann. We're comfortable with the Caro Kann. Will we get an exchange or an advance? Or perhaps a night out and we play more of a Tartakower. Looks like we're going to get a Tartakower. And with that being said, we are going to play moves like Bishop D6, castling, and then probably Rook from F8 to, okay. So here we go. We're going to castle pretty much immediately. More than likely, okay. We'll just develop. I don't think queen over would have been very beneficial, so we're going to castle next turn. So taking this is an option, and I think I will just take, I guess. This is not very typical Tartakower stuff. I guess if our knight's allowed to go to c6, we let it go to c6. So we are going to castle now, move our rook over. I do have a check like this. I don't think they can do anything. Well, never mind. Queen defends. Can't do that. Got to take. So we have these isolated pawns, and we have a double. So our endgame is basically 100% lost. So he's attacking my bishop. I could reroute, which doesn't look like the worst idea ever. This also is a double attack on his queen. So I'm looking at a square maybe like this. This pawn here is also undefended. And that might be a move that he can play now to attack my queen. So with that in mind, I think maybe a move like this is not the worst in the world, and then maybe we can play that. We're defending our pawn, and we'll have eyes at, or you know, towards the king. I think a slow position. We're up a pawn, but this is definitely not an exact position. Alright, so my idea was this. So maybe we play it. We'll have pressure on the rook. If the rook comes here, we will leave the pressure, I think. I could play a move like this to attack the knight. Where does the knight go? He can't go here. He could go here. could go here, could block, he could go back, and he could go here, which I haven't really tried to stop that yet. Now, if I don't know. They do have their queen bishop lined up here. Perhaps everything being on dark squares is not really helping me. I could just do this and kick their knight out just to see where we end up, but I don't think that that's going to behoove me but so much. So I'm wondering if a move like this, that's not going to do anything. I could bring the rook over. Maybe that's just a better move. Putting things in the center of the board. This bishop can now drop back. Alright, so I'm fine with this. I'm looking at moves like this, and then maybe attacking. That could easily be thwarted by them on their dark squares, however. So I like a move like this. I don't know what my opponent wants to do with this knight, but I am thinking of dropping this bishop back. Okay, so he just wants to give up a piece. So I have to drop back. Maybe this is just super dangerous. I actually didn't foresee this. This is hanging. Now he's going to bring this bishop in. So if I play a move like this, his queen's got to move here. Giving check. Then I can drop down. Well, no, I can't. But I can stay there and protect. If I play a move like this, it doesn't really behoove me, but so much. I think this has to be the move. I really don't know. So I'm assuming the queen goes here. Because this doesn't work anymore. So that was the main threat, was the queen coming here for checkmate, right? So maybe he has this move. I slide over. Yeah, he can't do it, so... Also, maybe this move next. I don't think this works for my opponent. So he gives the check. If I play this move, I have tempo on his queen, and I can also bring my bishop back. I didn't see that. So he wins his piece back. I can win this. However, this is an issue right now. So maybe we stop that. So if I play a move like this, his bishop can come back, and we're having a little bit of trouble. So if I take this, he comes down and gives me check. I can move up. Kind of dangerous for me. If I played this, I'm gonna take the piece. So he's gonna give me this check. That is not what I expected him to do. I expected him to come down here and give me the check. I don't think that that was the right move that he just did. Maybe it is. So he wants to go here with the queen now. My queen is just a little off sides. So if I play this move, he's got this. So I'm not gonna do that. I can walk my king over here. I can push. I'm just gonna walk my king over here. He's probably gonna play this move. I definitely want to get my pieces moving a little bit better now. A move like this would be sweet. The pawn is obviously hanging, but my king's in some trouble right now. I could play this move, but then he doesn't have that, so but he does have this, and then I can just go back. No, I can't. So if I play this and he plays that, I have to move over here. This is really intense. I've never had this really happen to me in this opening. My queen is just on the wrong side of the world right now. But I think after this, maybe we move here. He can't go here. He can't go here. So that's what I'm banking on. Oh, he just takes. So that's like infinitely worse than what I was assuming would happen. Is this a good move? I think it has to be played. I don't know. Maybe I don't have it. So if he plays this or this, I'm playing this. If he comes down here, I think I have to move forward. So this happens. Again, this pawn is hanging. Their king is also in a predicament. I don't think sacking does anything for me. So he gives the check. I get off the file. Oh man, my queen is in a tough spot. He wants to just draw me, which is like kind of annoying. So if I go here, what is he gonna come here? So I can't go here, or if, I guess I can. And if you want to come here, that's what's happening. Oh, I just lost my screen. Whoa. Holy crap, that was scary. Sorry, guys. I know y'all didn't see that, but I did. So if he goes here, I'm taking his queen, right? So I think we're safe now. I can take his pawn. I can affect things. Maybe taking the pawn is the wrong idea. Maybe getting my queen a little more involved is a better idea. I think that I'm gonna take the pawn and just be greedy about it because I'm threatening checkmate on the next move. So this should be I don't see that he has any moves. This should be checkmate. He can come back, I take. He can come back, I take. So I don't see any moves. The only moves he has are sacrificing his pieces, and it seems like we had a clean game. Jeez Louise! So intense. I am shiver me timbers. I played with 60% accuracy. My opponent played with 52.7, and yeah, this is a crazy game. So, whoa, Carl Khan, baby. So we get into the Tartic Hour, and this is normal, right? All this is normal. That's not the best move for my opponent. My opponent's best move is to get the knight out first, for sure. I do see people bring the bishop out. I also see this sometimes. Or this is also another move that I've seen. I'm low elo, so people don't play the correct moves all the time. I know that this is the move I'm supposed to play, but I think because they played the bishop out, I have a better move, maybe, and it's just taking the pawn, right? So even me just not, the reason the knight out is better is because it defends the pawn. So even me just not understanding the position is leading to me not seeing things like this, because I'm on autopilot and I'm like, oh, hard to cower, gotta put the bishop on d6. Yeah, but if I looked at the board, I could just spend an extra second or two and see that this is a hanging pawn now, and this is why the knight comes out first, not the bishop. So a little bit of an inaccuracy by me, but we bounce right back. People do this all the time. I don't think it's a very good move, because my initial reaction is to castle and then move the rook over to e8 and hope that they don't notice. So just stupid tricks, but I mean, you know, I'm like, hey, develop a piece, block the check, right? Didn't want to bring this back, didn't want to block with the queen. I wanted to develop another piece. Typically, so the way this normally goes is the queen does not come out. The knight is here on f3, right? And I castle, they castle. I move my rook over to e8, and a lot of times they do the same thing. They just bop their rook over to e1, and we just kind of have a stare off, you know. A lot of times I pin after I do that. I pin their knight. Now, I don't ever take. If they play h3, I don't take. I actually back up. And if they play this, I do this number. And I'm seemingly happy to have this happen and have what's called the pawn cube. But that didn't happen. So we end up with this position where he actually pushed for this move and just gave me a pawn to give me an isolated pawn. And sure, my pawn structure is not good, right? You know, especially after I take. So, I mean, I have doubled pawns, and then I have this little baby minority on this side. My opponent's got a nice pawn structure still. So, endgames are kind of lost for me, but you can see we're winning in this position. So, he gives a check. I just develop another piece, right? Get typically in this position, there's a pawn here, right? So my knight never comes to this square. My knight actually comes here, and we actually swing it weirdly to f8, and it plays more of a like defensive role, and we can bring it out a little later for some offensive things. But it defends checkmate on f8. Like if you have a knight on f8, no checkmate is, I think, a saying. I don't think I made that up. So they develop their knight finally. This is the weirdest. I've never had this position. Like normally they've been castled, I've been castled, and everything's been good, right? But they finally stopped trying some quirky things, and I get castled, they get castled, and I develop my rook over. The best thing is just to go for the pin. We normally go for the pin anyways, and it's beneficial. And then we can do something like this. They can back their queen up, but if they move their queen anywhere else, I'm threatening to take and mess up their pawns. So, yeah, the pin would have been nice because it would have forced their queen to really go here, at least for a moment. And I mean, it would have felt nice to have that kind of pressure. So he's threatening my bishop here. I just back my bishop up, and I have ideas of moving my bishop here, which I think he realized, and he was like, oh, okay, and moved his queen. Smart. I developed my queen over to this square, and this kind of ended up being like a really rough move for me. I should have just kind of one tempo on this knight and been like, what do you want to do? I didn't really want him to go there, but I guess I could have, and I could have pinned him. I could have also just played a move like that and let him take this, or I could have just backed this up here, which is a normal-ish move. He still could have taken, but anyways, I had a different plan. I brought my queen out. He develops a pawn. I brought my bishop over to here. They still want me to kick out the knight. The knight can't go here now because my queen is here. So he could go here. Well, actually, no, he can't because my bishop defends and his queen is on a dark square, not a light square. Excuse me. So yeah, his knight would probably need to retreat to one of these two squares. If he went here, I could push the pawn again. And he's got 0 squares in that position. So he would have to go here, I think, or here, or here. But I didn't do that. He moved his rook out. Good move. I'm basically helping him develop, which is probably not what I should be doing. Me threatening this rook, I mean, the rook there is nice. I have the file. I'm not fighting for anybody on it. He hasn't wasted a move to slide a rook over either yet, right? He doesn't really want to now, because if I do take, he takes with the queen. I'm not set up for it right now, but if I get this rook over there, he's going to have to move his queen, right? So it'd be my file at that point. He takes, I take, and in this position, he should have started pushing these pawns. He's got way better pawns than I do, and he can definitely inflict some pain on me if I'm not careful, and I usually am not very careful. So he does this. I backed my bishop all the way up. So straight up wrong thought. Yeah. This is a super cool move, and I didn't see it, but it literally inflicts damage on my opponent, and I have this coming next. Yeah, that's an insane move. Also, better than that, this. So I'm like completely winning, and I did not see that. And he sacrifices his knight here. I take. Not the best move. The best move is to go for what I'm looking at right here, which is straight up checkmate threats. We are checkmating our opponent. Queen would need to move, right? Queen can go here. Queen can go, queen can go here, here, and somewhere on this diagonal. So she'd probably come down to here, is what I would assume. Yeah. So I blunder. Backing up is actually the best option, because from here the queen can't go here, right? The queen can take this pawn still, and she would have to before she starts trying to check me like that. So that would have given me a little bit of time to play something like this. So I should have seen that. I backed my king up in the corner, kind of without really thinking about it. Gave him another tempo. He gets the bishop down here. I play this move, which is the only move that works. I found it quick, too. If you were watching the video, I found it quick. So I knew what I was doing a little bit. Now, in this position, I was like, bro. So this is just bad by me. Yeah. My queen should have been in on the action. My queen, I left my queen and this bishop over here, and they just did not they were not able to participate. They're completely off sides. This sucks. And I left them over there. I thought this was a nice move because it won tempo on the queen, but it actually doesn't do anything because they can just fucking move their queen back here. I didn't see what was going on, so it wants me to do that. I'm wondering what happens if I just take the queen, but it's saying that it has that, and that's checkmate, right? So that's actually the problem here that I didn't realize until after I kind of played this move. I was like, oh shit, he can like take, right? So I played, he backed up. This gave me a little hope because I could play this move, and I got to survive. Now, what I didn't realize was I'm losing the piece still, right? Like in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm threatening the queen, but the queen can just take it. Yeah. This is tough because you're sacking a queen, you get the exchange, and I don't know, my king's still in a lot of danger, so it's definitely not easy here. Instead, we have this position. He goes for, hold on, so this wasn't the best move. Blocking was the best move, because if he goes here, what? I just go back. I wasn't trying to draw, but white is completely winning here. Yeah, they needed to find like the idea that I couldn't defend all my stuff, and instead they were just going for these checks, and this blunders. Yeah, so They didn't see how. I mean, it blunders, but that's not the best move in this position. The best move is my rook is pinned. I can't take their rook, right? So, opponent had a bunch of winning chances. Instead, he took the pawn. He didn't see it. This gave me a chance to get my bishop over, which is still not the best move. The best move is actually pushing the pawn, allowing my queen to come in and save the day somehow. I did this because I was like, hey, I get the bishop down, right? It defends. He goes for that. I had to play that move. I back the king up. He comes over. Ooh. So this was apparently the winning move, which I'm not going to lie, I don't see it. I mean, getting my king up this way maybe. Get like out of the corner, I guess is an idea. I'm not going to lie. I didn't feel safe, but I felt kind of safe. The fact that I knew I could block all this stuff. I was pretty proud of myself that I was finding any of it. But this is why our accuracy is so low in this game, is because we just kind of weren't seeing winning ideas. So my opponent should have done something like so. And I'm assuming that this would come next to own on video and DVD. Instead, I take, which is not a good line. I definitely should have done this. And started to get my king active. We could have worked with this. This would have been fine. This bishop is holding everything together. Once I got the bishop involved, things got safer. Queen move was terrible, though. This is straight up a blunder. The reason is because, yeah, I'm pinned, right? So I kind of was playing in a panic, so I kind of knew that he could push this pawn. I was thinking about this pawn. I was like, oh, if he pushes that, I'm screwed. But he had his queen there, right? So wasn't the best thought on me. This straight up blundered, checkmate, and yeah. It says we both played terribly. My opponent's rated 1,047 and he played like a 600. I played like an 800. Super rough game. How many points? We got 10 points for that game. So we're rated 998. We're right back up where we should be. And yeah, fun game. Hope you guys enjoyed the chaos. Yeah, fun. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.